Camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Woo! How about them Giants, baby? Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush. And I gotta tell you, feels good to watch some Giant football, right? You know, definitely a nice day. I actually watched the game from the beach, believe it or not. I streamed it from the Jersey Shore, literally in the sand, looking out at the blue water. And it was blue all day. Buffalo wears blue, Giants wear blue. It was a blue day. So what wasn't blue is what we saw, and we'll be able to break that down because I got Sean here, I got Spartan Mike here. I even got Zach. Yes, the Zach attack is back to hang out with us and make our show sound amazing. But I can't do it without you folks. So thanks for tuning in, hanging out. Again, welcome to Giants Rush. We're here every Monday. 7:30, 50 weeks of the year. Yeah, we take 2 weeks off now and again. Tons to talk about, right? Tons to talk about. Do want to mention, we went live on, I think, Wednesday for the fantasy football. So Spartan Mike's here to talk about how he's going to kick your ass in fantasy. Now, I do not want to see that happen, okay? So there are a bunch of teams still open. So if you're a fantasy football guy, jump in, nygiantsrush.com, register, and whoop Spartan Mike's ass. You know what? Let's just bring in Mike and let him talk some shit, talk some smack.
This is Sparta!
Oh, yeah. We are so back. And, guys, just so you know, because I am going to kick all your asses, but we have consolidation. We have a consolation prize, if I'm not mistaken, right, Craig?
We upped the prizes. We upped it up. We upped the game.
We upped the game. Guys. Prizes are glorious this year, all right? So the biggest prize is going to ultimately be bragging rights against me. But the actual memorabilia that's up this year, you boys are going to be happy with it, all right? So DM me on Twitter. I'll keep promoting it. But I want as many of you guys in the league as possible, and then we'll go from there. And, yeah, winner gets all, and the winner's going to be me. But that's all right. We got consolation prizes.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you guys better sign up and kick Spartan Mike's ass. Do not let him run the table.
We can't handle a cocky Spartan Mike.
No, we have to deal with him normally cocky. We don't need him any more cocky.
Exactly.
But there are so it's a 14-man league. We opened it up. There are half the teams left. I think you guys are I've been picking up 1 or 2 a day. So that's cool. So guys, get in there and play. And we're going to move on to talking about the New York Giants because we got football back. And we can't have football conversation without Sean. So let's bring in the Joker, man.
Miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go.
Boom. There he is.
What's going on, fellas? What's up, Spartan? Already talking trash. People, if you're in here, please sign up and whoop him. We don't need any more Spartan trash talking in fantasy football. So just get in here, get it going.
This joint, I'm telling you, boys. I'm like an extra early just to remind everybody that I win again. Well, I actually didn't win last year, so.
And I said I saw you wearing the Taylor jersey. I'm like, oh, I'll be nice because he's wearing the jersey. But then you opened your mouth and it changed everything. So
I know he's always so confident because year 1 he went to the championship and we wouldn't let him win. So we had to defer the autographed Monty Toomer jersey.
I was on a different cloud that year, but then we agreed for last year I would get the prize if I won again, right, Craig?
Yes, but you didn't.
But you did not win.
My strategy for 8 years, which no one ever seemed to pick up on, was get Kelsey at the first pick. If you have the 8th pick, everyone's like, well, you don't want a tight end now. Well, guess what, people? The drop-off was significant. Last year, Kelsey didn't really do that much, so the strategy ended, and I ran dry. So, all right, party's over.
I see you guys are tapping in the room. I see Brad. I see Drew. I see Gino. I see a bunch of you guys rolling in. Thanks for hanging out with us. And hey, look, we got plenty to talk about. We're working on a bunch of stuff. So we still got about, 3 weeks to this, season actually kicks off on that Thursday. So behind the scenes, we're working on some pretty cool stuff for you guys. So lock in there, make sure we're part of your Monday. Let's get after it, guys. Let's start off with the elephant in the room is that the Giants played the Bills this past weekend and pleasantly surprised about everything that I saw. It wasn't boring, which preseason has been for years now. Everybody got a chance pretty much that you wanted to see. I think outside of Russell Wilson, you got a really good look at a lot of guys. And I'm going to start off with Bo because, a lot of people don't really watch offensive line play, right? They just know whether we're good or we're bad. We suck. There's holding penalties, whatever it may be. Spartan, going to start with you on Bo because I don't know if you noticed or not, but he was playing right tackle and left tackle. They're moving him around, and he was more than efficient to the point where Baldinger already started breaking down the film today because of how much he impressed. So my question is, did you get a chance to look into anything he did? 2, did you happen to see what Baldinger said? And what's your thought on the rookie? Because for a lack of a better word, he could start if he continues on this trajectory.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first one to say, when I'm watching the offense, I'm really watching the quarterbacks for a lot of that game because I'm just trying to see what our offense might look like when it was a very slow, mundane offense last year. The problem is when your offensive line starts to improve, right, is you kind of almost forget to keep your eyes on them because you only are really acknowledging a lot of the times, if you're not paying attention closely, who's performing unwell. So I actually have to give Sean props because he was already highlighting on Twitter MBow's out there and he's looking great. And so, I started shifting my attention to him. And then, it wasn't just even a hold your ground situation. He had a very powerful, strong attack when he was blocking these defensive linemen. And he coupled that with a really good balance. I saw what Baldinger said, and it was so fun watching him break it down because there's something that dude does. It's so unique. And it's his arms, kind of whipping people or kind of punching people, if you will, or just using it to clothesline people. I haven't really ever seen anything like that before. And he did it so well, so flawlessly. And he was doing a great job of protecting the quarterback. So the fact that he was able to do it on both the left side and the right side of the offensive line is a huge win for the New York Giants if he continues to play like that. So I'm very proud overall of how he played. Lots of guys to talk about how well he played and whatnot, but very rarely does a mid to late round pick like that go out there and impress as much as he did. But I got to give it over to Sean to talk about it because he identified it first.
Yeah, Sean, I know you've been on Bo for a while, but more or less, what's up, Brooklyn? Mark B's here. Good to see you, brother. What's awesome about Bo for me is we go through life with lefty pitchers, righty pitchers, left tackles, right tackles. Everyone now is a specialist, Sean. No one can do anything different than what this is right in here. I'm only this. Watching that cat get moved from left side to right side and back was so impressive. You know what I mean? Just so impressive that we drafted Neal. He can't play. They couldn't play the left side. He couldn't play the right side. Here we are trying to see if he can make the team at a guard spot. This cat walks in, flies under the radar, and can play with proficiency on the left and right side. Footwork was great, Sean. As Spartan just alluded to, he's clubbing guys. You know what I mean? Literally using an arm bar to make sure that guy gets pushed deep, pancaked the one guy. Yep. So question to you is, yes, you were on it early on. What did you like? And, is this something that we hope to see more of? Or as the preseason goes, are we going to see more starters?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think with Bo, they're going to look him at that swing tackle spot. That's what I had him left and right. They were higher on him than people realized. The only reason he dropped as far as he did in the draft was because he had that injury later on. And what I liked is what I saw on the tape. Number one, he did really well against Abdul Carter in college. There's film out there that showed what he did. He's aggressive. The knock on him for people, they thought he needed to be guard because his arms are short. Well, he's showing you that you don't need those long arms like everybody says to be an effective tackle in this league. Like, yes, I get it. It's preseason. It's early. Don't overreact. But what you saw in the preseason game is what you saw in college, what you saw in practice, all this. He stays in front of his guys. And even if he gets, like a quick move on the outside, he drifts and allows the quarterback to step up in the pocket. That is what's really good about him. And again, going from left to right, like that's what we needed, right? If Thomas is out, the swing tackle position, that's exactly what you need. So I think he's got a little bit of nastiness to him, which I like. That chop that Baldy was talking about, he just don't care. Like you need that, right? You need some of that. So the other thing that I'm going to point out real quick, Craig, is that what people have to understand, there's practice performance and there's game performance. Some people might not do well in practice and they do well in the games. Others, they may not do well they do well in practice and they do not so well in games. So that's what you have to watch for. So he showed that what he was doing in practice translated to the game so far. We'll see if he continues up, but I like the kid. I've been talking about him since he was drafted. I said he had a good shot to start. When you remember a few weeks ago, when you were talking about they needed to draft a left tackle if Thomas got injured again, what did I say to you?
You said if Bo makes it, he can play both sides.
And we wouldn't need to worry about drafting a left tackle. So that may be the case. We'll see.
Brad's got a great point here that, there's some speculation out there that Chris Snee, might have had some help, in pushing the Giants to look and drafting him. And you know what, Brad, we may never know, but it sure feels good, right? That like almost to the point is why not, right? He's part of the system. And he knows linemen. So if they gave him any runway, there's a really good chance that he was involved in at least, either evaluating the tape or going out to see him play. Either way, it's way exciting to see a guy, for me, to play both sides well, right? Yeah. It's not just he played left side well. He played the left side and the right side well. So again, swing tackles are normally not good enough to start, but in a pinch, they're your swing tackle.
He's going against good talent too. AJ Epinesa, who's up against a lot. I mean, that's a tough defensive lineman. Like he got battle tested.
Bosa too, right?
What's that?
I don't know if he went against Bosa or not. I don't think he did. Bosa was out really early. But he handled he went up against some other good guys as well. And we talked about it on the show with the impact that Snee could have with the line. Plus, let's not discount the fact of Priscilla, what he's doing and what he's looking for, because that's helpful now, right? Between him and Snee, both those guys playing a role, that's I like him. I like it a lot. So we'll see what happens. And that line, 51 throws, 0 sacks.
Yeah.
And not
preseason or not. Yeah. Preseason or not. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, this is stuff that, we're allowed to be excited about because we haven't had anything. So we can listen, there's 2 ways you can go. This is preseason and you could just say, well, it's preseason, but why? We don't have to go that route. We can be positive here and say, we haven't had anything to be excited about, Spartan Mike. Now we got some things to be excited about. So let's at least admit that it was fun to watch. And, you're talking about they're putting points on the board, right? We normally score 14 points. You're scoring points. Right. And it does. And if anything, Spartan, it showed you that the depth of the team is better than it's been for a decade.
For sure. Yeah, that's a really good point, Craig. And, we're seeing the reps. We're seeing them have to execute, and they are successfully executing. So I don't know why, we can't take some of what we're seeing in preseason, for the better, right? Victor Cruz went out against the Jets. His breakout game wasn't the Eagles in 2011. It was the Jets preseason in 2010. He had 3 touchdowns that night, right?
Yep.
That's when you know you have something special, right? And let's not forget, last year, I mean, we saw a lot of sloppiness in the preseason. Saw a lot of sloppiness against the Texans, right? And it did matter in the long run because that is what we got.
Yeah.
Yep.
So far as Bo's considered, real nice piece of work he put in. And, we've always said, like, these starters don't get any reps, and it's almost like until game 2, game 3, like, those first couple games is like their preseason. Like, the coaching staff may also be putting some emphasis on getting guys reps, because they want them ready earlier. So seeing what Bo could do is important, which we're really happy with. Let's talk about Carter, right? Because, it's all over Twitter. It's all over Instagram. And I will say, again, not to get too far ahead of myself, but just dynamic as can be, for the first time he's actually faced a tackle that wasn't, a practice tackle. You got to see, what did he have? Three pass rushing attempts?
You have 100% pressure rate, yeah.
And everything that happened there was either, high pressure. Quarterback had to throw the ball early. He showed you 3 different moves where stutter stepped, came across the tackle's face on one, went outside on the other, and then came back inside on the third one. And all 3 of them, you never know. Either could have been a sack or a hit on the quarterback. Sean, it's interesting because, again, we haven't had a defensive end or a linebacker drafted this high in quite some time, but there's no denying the guy's going to be the real deal.
Yeah, he's different. And let's be realistic. That wasn't a scrub he was going up against. That was Deion Dawkins, who's a 4 or 5-time Pro Bowler. So that's not just anybody he's beating and making look bad out there. So again, I'll say this. I said it a couple weeks ago. It's not about the results. It's about the process. And when you see what he does, how quick he is off the line, his spin move, whatever move he has, he's different. He's moving at a different speed. He's moving just different than everybody else that's out there. And you can see that. So it's not what he did. Even if he had just 3 sacks and people are like, oh, it's a preseason. It's not the point. It's what he's doing. You can recognize his skill set and you just see he just moves different. And again, he did this against Deion Dawkins. Deion Dawkins is not a scrub. Again, 4-time Pro Bowler. That's impressive to me.
Spartan, do you want to see Carter get more snaps? Are you hesitant because the Giants have always been a injury-plagued team in preseason? Like, or are you just like, let's get him more acclimated, with the NFL by letting him, get a couple more notches under his belt?
That's a good question because, the question is like, should he have been out there for another drive? It's funny. I think back to my senior year of high school. We were blessed to have a really good football team that year. We had a D1 running back. That really helps. But we were pretty loaded with talent. We got to the state semifinals. Training camp was pretty grueling. But I remember that year, it was like a few days. We completed the first week. We're supposed to have another week of 2-a-days. And we looked so good in practice. The coach said, that's it. We're just doing 1-a-days at this point. We're seeing everything we can. And if you watch the Giants, and the Bills did this too, when your better players are actually getting less reps, it's kind of showing that they're just like, he's good. We've seen enough. He doesn't need to really get even more reps out here in preseason because he's going to go out there and explode during the regular season, right? Everybody could watch Abdul Carter and just know, like, this dude is different. Micah Parsons complimented him significantly on Twitter, right? You saw that one. He's like, he's got a chance to be the best ever. And virtually saying that he'd be better than Micah Parsons. That's a lot of respect. And Craig, you brought up this point. You brought this up for years with Tibbs, right? And we're not going to knock anybody down here. But, you received concern from scouts and whatnot in your DMs that, look, he doesn't have a motor. And if you don't really know what that term is, because it's hard to just kind of like explain, but it really is using, a mix of moves, the strength times the speed, all that. But when you watch Carter play, he's got an array of moves, and he uses all of them. So should he get more reps? Maybe I would have liked to have just seen him out there just because I'm selfish, because I would have wanted to see him out there. Like, it's fun to watch him play. But I mean, the Giants have to do what's best for the team, and I don't really know if that's going to make him any better than he already is.
Interesting take too, because again, don't want to hurt him, don't want him to get dinged up, all that stuff. But just watching 3 pass rush moves, I was like, this cat's gonna break Lawrence Taylor's rookie sack record. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, I'm like, I've got delusions of grandeur right away. I'm like, all right, if this guy can like make that Buffalo Bills left tackle, which is a starting player on a really good team. This isn't like, their starting players all got snaps. He's a Pro Bowl player, and this guy's ripping across his face. He gave him, he probably, if in a live scenario, you look at Trubisky had to throw the ball early on the one play. He almost sacked him on the other play, and there was huge pressure on the third play.
Right.
So, like, I'm thinking in my head, he's never done this before, right? At the NFL level. Those are his first 3 plays. If he played 40 snaps, 30 snaps, or even 10 snaps, you gotta say to yourself that this defense is gonna really benefit Sean, that Burns and Tibbs, McFadden, Okereke, they're all gonna be better just because of what he can bring to the table.
Well, you saw the pressure they got as a team, and Roy Robertson Harrison had a game too. So we talk about guys that maybe not be practice players, but game players. He showed up in that preseason game. Like, he really did. And those first couple drives, Buffalo couldn't do anything. Again, their starters are out there other than their quarterback, right? So they weren't just playing with nobodies out there on the offensive line. They were all there. So that's what you want to see. You want to see that rush. You want to see, what's out there. And listen, 6 plays, 3 pressures, and 3 rush attempts. Yeah, good day at the office. Call it a day. We're good. You don't need to see much else. So
do you want to see him get more snaps is the question.
I don't care. No, I don't need him to get more snaps in the preseason. And listen, we got 2 joint practices, one tomorrow, one Wednesday. He should get a lot of reps there. I don't care. What's that going to do for him? He's getting a lot of reps. He's special. He's talented. Just whatever they choose to do with him is the right move, because let's be realistic. He's going to be our defense. Him and Dexter are the 2 guys. Dexter didn't play 1 snap, right? I'm pretty sure he didn't play 1 snap on Saturday. I don't care. Save these guys, because him and Dex are going to be the defense. Now, Burns is going to benefit from that for sure. Now, 6 snaps was enough. Keep him healthy.
Tudo's in the room. Thanks, Tudo. Pound you out. Throwing us up there with a sticker. Appreciate that, my man. You are always good to us. I'm trying to throw it up there, but it keeps popping back out. Oh, there it is. So yeah, Tudo, love that you're in the room, brother. Good to see you, and everyone else that's coming in. Guys, really, I think you hit the nail on the head that, he potentially is going to be better than Burns and Tibbs. And he does have that motor, that you mentioned, Spartan, and he likes and he loves football. And, I mean, you really got to be just excited that this defense can really potentially be a top 10 defense, top 12 defense.
Top 5, maybe.
with the way this defense is now built, and everybody was making plays, right? I mean, literally, like you said, I was looking back at, where is it? I think did Mark
and
say
let me
about Fox?
Let me throw this in quick too. The other thing, Craig, that I loved that he did. I don't know how many people saw this, but it was on Twitter today. He actually took a Bills receiver and pushed him off the Giants bench and didn't let him sit there. Fun. Whatever it was, he's going to bring something different. And it's a little thing, but I tell you what, if there's a Buffalo Bills receiver who's sitting on the bench taking his time, get off our bench. I loved that he did that. Absolutely loved that he did that. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but it's circling around. You see the clip. He's like, get off our bench, and pushed him off the bench. I love it. That's like a little thing to me that I think is huge. He's going to bring some of that anger back, and maybe we'll start hating our rivals again. Who knows? That'd be great.
Well, like, instead of just kind of like joshing around, I'm like, oh, stop. No, it's like, get the hell out of here. Like, we're not friends.
It's like, you're on our sideline. Don't be sitting on our bench. Yeah, I love it. Let's get more of that. We don't need to be friends with everybody. Heck no.
I kind of think this whole draft class has a little bit of that in them, right? The quarterbacks got swag, the defense ends nasty, the tackle can play both sides and is willing to.
Right.
I mean, that when Bo had that one arm, arm slam, I was like, well, that's new.
It's like the Deacon Jones head slap almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
They all have mindsets for a culture change.
And it's happening, by the way. And it's happening right in front of us. And again, and then I hope it trickles down to the fans that they'll stop selling their tickets to the opposing team and filling up the damn stadium with the opposing team. There is nothing more that pisses me off than watching 30,000, Commanders fans, Eagles fans, Vikings fans.
Craig, that one we were at, there were a ton of Buccaneers fans. I didn't even know those fans traveled.
So I'm hoping that this draft class and that people get excited about Giants football again and come to the games. Or if you can't go, sell them to another Giants fan. Stop filling up MetLife Stadium with the opposing team. So if this draft class has got some attitude, I'm all for it.
We talked about they were psychos. We said that was going to impact it. And you can see, again, we need it. We understand it needs to translate to wins. We get that, right? But the vibe has been different. Practice, preseason, you can just see things. The energy is different with this team. Now, will it translate to wins? We don't know. But having a different vibe, having a different energy, that is a good start. And those psychos, and think about it, Scatterbo didn't even play because he's injured. But we had psychos, man. Give me psychos. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Again, if it catches on, these guys have the right attitude. If it catches on and they're winning and they're on their way to improving the team, right?
Right.
It should catch on. Because again, I don't think there's any excuse for selling your tickets, to the Eagles fans.
Cowboys fans. It's just
especially
crazy.
Cowboys and Eagles fans. Yeah. Ugh.
But again, at the end of the day, Drew's like, winning solves everything. And it does. You know what I mean? But it's not always that easy. As we've noticed for the last 12 years, right? But now we got the right personnel in place. What's up, Grangier? Welcome aboard. So those are great. Those are all great things. I mean, those were because Carter and Bo stuck out at me that I wanted to mention. And then we're going to talk about my guy, which is Jaxson Dart, because I think everybody knew that Carter was going to be great. 50% of these folks didn't know what to. First timer. I love it. You got to help me with some phonetics here so I say it right. We can call you Madge.
Mudar. No, he's the guy that he got me to play at a really nice golf course out here, Medina. So I really appreciate him. I'm glad he's tuning in.
Yeah. So do we have a nickname for him? What do we call him?
The Doctor.
The Doctor. All right, Doctor. Welcome aboard, Doc. Bang. Appreciate you here. So coming full circle back to Dart, as you guys all know, I've been on Dart since he transferred out of USC, tried to pump him up for years now. Now people are getting a little bit of a taste of his confidence, his swagger, what he can do. He did a handful of things that it's worth being excited about. I'm not going to say that Jones could or could not. I'm not going to say that DeVito can or cannot. I'm not going to say Wilson can or cannot. I'm going to say is that it was still exciting to see a rookie do what he was doing. Sean, I'll start with you because here's the question.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is, there was a good body of work that took place, on Saturday.
Right.
The question I just have for you, you don't even have to go into depth. Should he play more? Should he get more snaps in preseason than he got on Saturday?
You mean moving forward or more than what he got on Saturday?
Moving forward.
I think what he got is good. I like what he did. I don't think he needs to get more. And he also got reps against ones and twos. So he got some reps against ones there. So keep him where he needs to be. Don't rush him. Don't get more than he needs to do. What I did like, well, we'll talk about in a minute, I guess. You just wanted that simple answer, right?
Yep. Just wanted to know if you think, Spartan, do you think with the body of work that he put in that you want to see him get even more snaps so he can earn because right now, Jameis is the second string quarterback and Jaxson Dart being the third and Tommy being the fourth. Do you want to see him get more snaps to potentially earn the backup job? Is that something that's on your radar?
I'm completely fine with him getting 2 to 3 drives. Three if there was like a 3 and out or something like that to really get him the reps. And maybe not look at it as, the number 2 versus number 3 quarterback. I think getting Dart out there is going to be a little bit greater than who's better at the point of time. It's going to be more about what's right for the Giants in the long run versus like right now. So, knock on wood, Russ goes down week 2. They're probably going to put Jameis in there. Russ, gets hurt week 12. They might put Dart in there. That's what I would suspect. So I'm not really thinking in terms of that. The thing is, this game and the goal this year is that Dart doesn't have to come out at any point because Russ is playing so well. So the only 2 reps that he really has in games is going to be in the next couple weeks here against the Jets and whoever we finish out against Patriots in the preseason. So, I think what's best is 2 to 3 drives each game. I think that's more than enough for him. We'll see what we can do. He gets the experience. Go from there, just like Mahomes got with the Chiefs in 2017.
I got a sidebar here a second because Grangier said something here that I'm going to have to get talked off the ledge on this one.
Oh, boy.
Look, tough thing with tickets. If you can get 2 to 3 times the amount for a visiting team for you, money talks. That's a problem. That's a stone cold problem. All right.
I think the real problem is, look, I do understand, Craig. I've always said it, and you're a loyal fan. You go to all these games. I give you a lot of props, but I do feel and completely understand for these fans that, when the Giants are that bad, and we can get off this topic real quick. When the Giants are that bad, and your idea of spending Sunday is spending hundreds to go to the game, be miserable, watch the team lose, it's cold out. That really does suck. But I tell you what, it doesn't have to be wins. But if we can just at least be competitive again by the time December comes around, or we're in the hunt for a wild card spot in December, people won't do that. But when we're 3-14 and people aren't showing up and it's, sloppy football, we're losing to crappy teams, it sucks to be a part of that.
Okay. Throw out everything Spartan Mike just said. Here's the deal. Here's the deal, man. You want culture change with the team. You can't pout if you don't get what you want. You're either a season ticket holder or you're not. Okay? Like, but buying them as an investment, I guess so. But you can't complain if the stadium's, full of the opposing team, if you're part of the problem.
And you won't get that much anyway. Like, that's a thing too. Like, can you not, if you're not going to go to the game, can you please try to find Giants game, fans, maybe ones that don't go to the games very often, because they're probably going to be willing to do it. So, like, try to do a little bit of work. People.
So I also want to explain to people how this works, okay? Because I think people just think selling tickets is selling tickets, all right? The way it works at MetLife Stadium is not you just said 2-3 times to get these tickets.
I don't think you can get that. Yeah.
Well, no, you can't. But here's the way they do it now. The ticket for the Dallas game, the Cowboys game now are worth double than what the Minnesota game is. Where at one time you bought a ticket, my ticket was $200 a ticket. So I have 2 tickets for $400, right? And every game was $200, $200, $200, $200, right? You guys with me so far?
Yeah.
Right? It's not like that anymore. Now they value the ticket against Dallas at $400 or the Commanders at $300. They don't just prorate it across the season anymore like they did for 4 decades, right?
Really? So you, the fan, season ticket holder, you actually pay more for the Cowboys and Commanders games than the other ones.
So again, you get an invoice and you pay for the invoice of all the games at once. It's a lump sum money.
Right.
But when you go to resell that ticket, right, whether you sell it to the Giants back to resell, those tickets are now worth more money, right? As an individual ticket. Okay. Right. So if it's Tampa Bay, that could be $150. Minnesota could be $150, but Buffalo is going to be $400. The Eagles are going to be $400, right? So those old days of getting 2-3 times is not accurate. You know what I mean? Because if you're playing crappy teams, they're not worth what you think they're worth anymore.
And there's fees that are incurred. In fact, I think because people have looked into it, like why don't more people just buy season tickets as an investment, and it really doesn't pay off.
No, and again, season tickets, you got, you have the PSLs are involved, but again, the bigger picture is you shouldn't be. I mean, the team needs fans, right? And you need loyal fans, and you got to be behind them. Yes, there are people who buy them as an investment, but that's also what happened to why MetLife sucks. The stadium sucks. We already been over that a million times. But the environment is the same way. If you're selling your tickets and they're just corporate seats and no real fans are going, you can't expect it to be, a great product or a great environment. You can't expect it if you're just selling them to make the money. I'm sorry, I'm a diehard
winning
fan.
Winning cures all. We saw Giants Ravens 2022. That's what it should look like the rest of the decade.
And I'm sitting here like that old Chevy Chase, Gerald Ford skit in SNL. I was told there'd be no math. So there's math right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, the biggest issue is sell your tickets to Giants fans or don't buy tickets. Chris?
Just eat the tickets. Don't try to get your money back. Empty seats are better than opposing.
Peace. I think Peace and I might meet up at the Washington game. He's going to be there. So
Peace. Hey, anyone going to be at the Giants Bears games? Bear game in Chicago by chance?
Maybe.
Comment section.
Well, it's good to see Peace in the room. I haven't seen Peace in a while. Yes. What's up, Chris? Pound you out. Cold's in the room. Bang, pound you out. Cold's for hanging out. But yeah, the surge pricing is a real thing. I just want you guys to stop selling your tickets. That's it. I know the team's bad. If the team gets good and you probably everybody's coming back. Bad. What's that?
Team was bad, not is bad.
Yeah, they were. Past tense. By the way, can we talk about somebody else too that stood out to me?
Wait, still got to talk with Dart for a second.
Oh, you're still talking Dart? I thought we were Dart. Okay, no, go ahead. Talk Dart. I thought that we were over that.
Yeah, Spartan. Okay. Is there a chance that Jaxson Dart starts in 2025?
Yeah, there is a chance. Two scenarios. One, obviously injury. Two is, we're at like the minute we're out of the playoffs, they're probably going to put him in there. That's it. Those are the two scenarios.
All right, Sean, is there a chance that Dart starts in 2025?
I think that second scenario for out of the playoffs is later in the year and we have no chance of making it. They'll put him in to get him some action. I don't think it'll be early. I don't even think with an injury, unless he's fully ready, I don't think they'll put him in early. Again, what we have to remember is that yes, it's good. Yes, there's things you take from this, but remember, he's looking at vanilla defenses. Like all these quarterbacks are looking at vanilla defenses. We need to see what he does against pressures, fronts, disguises, all of that stuff. So when you're looking at things like that, when it comes to the quarterback, that's where preseason's a little different because they're running against vanilla.
You get the money sound for that.
Hey, can I ask you guys while we're on Dart real quick? I know it's just, what do you guys think about Dart?
I mean, look, I love the escapability in the pocket. I love that he okie dokie to one guy and stepped back and make a miss. I love the step up and run, scan the field a couple times through progression, went through the progression, hit a couple guys on the outsides, didn't fold his tent after that bad throw, came right back with a dime, for a touchdown. And by the way, what a lot of people don't even realize is he took a shot right in the chops. I mean, like he delivered that ball and literally got obliterated. So everything about it, looks good. I mean, again, preseason, not a lot of high complexity from a defensive standpoint, showing you vanilla, right? Not rolling out a lot of stuff, but I like it. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, that touchdown pass was nice. The way he threw it, the placement of it, those are the things you look at, right? What I also like was his decision-making, even against, vanilla defenses, but he was making the right decision. Whether or not the execution was good, it wasn't great all the time. We know his footwork, he's got to work on things. He had a couple drops too, where they didn't really say it was drops, but when you look at it, both those balls should have been caught, right? So he made the right decision, and that's what is important to me was, yes, it's vanilla, but against the vanilla defense, so the game didn't seem too fast for him because even against vanilla, it can seem too fast. So that's what I like. Again, the important thing to know is he was making the right decision.
Spartan, he had 23 yards rushing, and the slide talk has already started. They asked him about it after the game. His teammates are saying, dude, get down. You know what I mean? Because Dart is known to drop shoulders on dudes. Dart's not a little guy. You know, I mean, he is about, I haven't looked at the recent number, but he's roughly around 225, 6'2.5". He's not afraid. What's your thought on the sliding, Spartan?
I love to see his confidence. I love to see his boldness. And I actually kind of do like the fact that he likes to hit dudes, but he's got to slide. He's got to keep himself protected. And, we talk about Eli Manning, and the longevity of him. Now, he didn't scramble very often, but when he did, every time he did, he slid. And that was a mechanism that helped keep him healthy throughout his career. All right. Because if he's going to want to have a long, healthy career like Eli Manning, he's got to incorporate that in the game. And he had plenty of yards at that point to keep the drive going. Would have only lost a few more. So definitely slide. Still got to protect yourself even when you slide. You could definitely get concussions. Somebody puts their head down. You know what happens. So, but yeah, he's got to slide.
K-Mac says he's got Dart starting versus Frisco on week 9. If not, after the bye. I don't actually see, unless Russ gets hurt, I don't see it happening.
Well, they said his schedule's tough, so he's assuming we're not going to have a lot of wins. That's why he says that. That's why he said look close to the schedule.
Fell a few times. That's true. He was not a good slider.
Yeah.
And
he would fumble sometimes too, on the slides, untouched.
By the way, I'm going to go opposite of Spartan. I love that he did it. I absolutely love it. And if I remember correctly, somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I think Dayball said he didn't have an issue with it. If I remember correctly, they asked him about it, and I think he said he was okay with it. Now, here's why I like it. Not every time, but listen, we can't baby people. I get it. We were an injury, but we want toughness. And what does that show? When your quarterback does that, and I think it made sense at the time, the rest of the team is going to respond. That shows leadership. We view it a different way as a fan, but as a teammate, they love that shit. They don't want a quarterback to puss out, right? So they're gonna enjoy that. They did that. All you want.
No, that wasn't at you. That was after the people complaining.
Oh, okay. But no, I do. I love it. And like I said, as long as our head coach doesn't have a problem with it. Now, I'm not saying I do it every single time. Like if it's, you run for 2 yards and you run somebody over, but if you're trying to get a first down, if there's something else, there's a right time to do it. And I don't think he needs to slide every single time. And I think he showed his teammates what he's made of. So I like it.
Well, because I'm taking complete credit for Jaxson Dart. Zach, if you can hear me, Zach, throw it up, dude. Throw it. Let's see it. I want to see it, Zach. You got it for me? By the way, Zach Attack is back. And he's got something for me. I want to see it. Where is it? Zach.
Bueller.
Yeah, Bueller. I'm actually looking in the platform. Anyway. Oh, here it is. I'll play it myself.
Got so many guys on this roster who were homegrown here, and they're here because
and a touchdown from Jaxson Dart to little Jordan Humphrey.
Because they exceeded their expectations.
By the way.
Oh, yeah, you're probably going to say the same thing I'm going to say.
Yeah, little Jordan Humphrey is not a little dude.
No. Well, I would say, by the way, thanks for the Buffalo Bills broadcaster, Mr. Steve Tasker, who's probably still upset we beat him in the Super Bowl. Didn't even recognize that throw or that play. They were so busy talking about the stadium
or something when that was happening. Like it was as if the whole thing wasn't going on at all. That was horrible.
Yeah. Well, they had somebody from the Bills organization, the president or whatever, was in there talking about the new stadium they're building. So that's all they were talking about the whole time. And then even during that touchdown, like that was a great throw. I get it was the opposing team. I've never seen a preseason broadcast where the team, the broadcast and the team, like the Bills and this, I've never seen another team do that. Like whenever you played somebody else, the other team at least recognizes the team that they're playing.
I'll go a step further. They had 3 sideline interviews that were 3 to 4 minutes apiece while the game was going on. Yeah. They were literally showing guys getting interviewed. It was terrible. The Buffalo Bills should be embarrassed and ashamed of that broadcast.
How about that last drop? Like they kept saying that it was a misplacement by Dart, and it could have been a half inch to the right, but the receiver had it well in his hands and could have caught the ball. You remember that one?
Yeah.
But they kept on.
Yeah, I do. Well, if you're not really paying attention, then you can't really get it right. But yeah, it was hurtful. Ugh,
I'm going to put this up there so you can watch the hit that Dart takes after this throw.
Got so many guys on this roster who were homegrown here, and they're here because you
and
see
a
that
touchdown from Jaxson Dart to little Jordan Humphrey.
Because they exceeded their expectations.
Yeah, cut the dude off like while he's trying to talk about the football games. Like, shut up, I'm talking right now.
Yeah, it was a hit. It was a nice hit. He got leveled. Probably if it was the Giants that hit that quarterback, it probably would have been called roughing the passer.
Yeah, right. So all good things from Dart, Bo, Carter. Those were my three guys to me that stood out the most. I think everybody had a pretty solid game all the way around. I can't really say, wow, that guy played terrible. But first preseason game, I was happy with it. Were you guys happy with? I mean, hey, look, they scored points. They threw the ball. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to throw another name out there that I thought played really well, and I think is going to earn a spot on this roster and will number the days of another person on this roster. But Turbo Miller, man, looked really good. Like really good. He is fast. The screenplays, couple runs. He's got to clean some things up. He tries to bounce it out too much, but that's what fast running backs do. Like a lot of good players, running backs do that. But he looked real good. I think he's going to be RB3. I really do. That he's and Daboll took notice of him as well. So he's in the mix. So I think Eric Gray hasn't been around. So I think his days are numbers. And don't be surprised if he is up there ahead of Devin Singletary at some point too, because man, Turbo is fast. He's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you keep him off the roster because
you can't.
Like you said, play special teams. Thank you, K-Mac. Play special teams. Guy's fast. And yeah, piece is saying about him replacing Singletary, 100%. Or at a minimum Gray, because I mean I can't see Gray making the team.
He's on the pup list as it is, so
yeah. Which leads me to this here, guys. And do we need wide receiver help? There are 3 wide receivers that are floating around there that are available with Amari Cooper, Gabe Davis, and Nelson Aguilar. Kind of like some of the names that are available out there. Do we need wide receiver help? Now, before you answer that,
no.
Okay, you're just going to say no?
No, I said, you ask us a question, then say don't answer.
Yeah, don't answer it yet. Don't answer it yet. Okay. I'm going to give you guys right now the depth chart from the wide receiver position. All right, so you got Darius Slayton. Behind him is Hyatt. Behind him is Zach Pascal. And behind him is Juice Wells. Juice Wells, in case anybody doesn't know who Juice Wells is, he was like the number 3, maybe number 2 receiver at Ole Miss for Dart. So he was a UDFA, and he's on the roster. Then we've got, of course, Wandale's your starter. And then you got Amir Smith-Marset is number 2. And then you got Montrell Washington. In case you guys don't know, that's number 80. He's had a really nice preseason. And then Dalen Conbury behind him. And then, of course, you got Neighbors with little Jordan Humphrey, who you just saw on that clip catch that ball from Dart as the second string. Then you got Bo Collins and Jaquan Felton. Question is, gentlemen, like, honestly, I'll start with you, Spartan. Do we need wide receiver depth? Like, is it? Are we okay with this? Like, because if let's say if Robinson goes down, are we okay with what we have?
Look, I mean, the way this wide receiver room is, there's one star, and then it, does decline after that. I mean, Slayton is the wide receiver too, but the way I look at it is this. I mean, if they want to go out there and sign another depth piece, I mean, go ahead. But the way I look at the wide receiver room is getting another really good wide receiver is a 2026 issue. And what I want to see out of this team right now is with this group of receivers with Slayton and Malik Neighbors, go out there and prove that you can have a competent offense again. Be top 20. That's what I said the other day. You have Russell Wilson out there. Try to be better than Arthur Blank's offense or Arthur Smith's offense last year, right? And if they prove to have a pretty competent offense, then next year take it the extra step and get another star wide receiver. Probably not as good as Malik. I get they're expensive, but that's the time to really add on a serious weapon there. You know what I'm saying? In terms of depth, I don't know. I don't think it's really that important right now.
Interesting. I'm going to tell you, you're wrong. And you know why I can say that?
It's good to be the king.
because I can say stuff like that. No, you're not wrong. But I have.
That was harsh, Craig. Jesus Christ, man. I had to do a whole side segment just to double down on it. But go ahead.
No, I'm having to probably.
Welcome back, Spartan. Welcome back.
Yeah, baby. Welcome back, brother. My problem is that Wan'Dale Robinson needs to have a breakout year, and I'm trying to think like who was a better receiver, Sean, Sterling Shepard or Wan'Dale Robinson. I do think it's Sterling Shepard, and
Wrong.
Dude, I'm totally muting his microphone.
Wrong.
So
I agree with Craig.
I
want to agree with you because I want to do a little side segment to double down on you being wrong, but I do agree with you.
Yeah. I just need Wan'Dale. I need
year.
Wan'Dale to have a breakout year, and I'm concerned that if he gets hurt, which we definitely don't want to have happen, are you willing to go with Amir Smith-Marset as your number 2 or your number 3? Like, I don't know about the firepower now that we've got, 3 really good quarterbacks. Like, Sean, do we need wide receiver help?
No, I don't think we do, but because listen, Wan'Dale's going to have a big year. I called it. I've gone out there. I'm going to say it. You guys can bookmark it, do whatever you want to do. But he also has been hitting some deep shots, catching some deep balls. He did it. He was the only receiver that started this weekend, and he was making plays against the Bills' first team defense. So, and it wasn't just the underneath. It wasn't just the 3 and outs.
You say this like we don't want him to also succeed. We want you
no. It's not directed at you guys. I'm just saying. I'm just saying everybody that's saying it. I'm putting it out there. I'm going out on that limb. Wan'Dale is going to have a much better year. Now, of those 3 that you mentioned, I mean, I was right about other guys. Marcus Bowe.
We're not saying. We're just saying. We need
mark my words. Yeah, he's got to step up. He's got a quarterback now. Craig, a little too happy with these sound effects. He's got a better quarterback now that's going to hit him. Like I said, that out route that was thrown to him this weekend, a deep out, nice catch. Wilson threw the ball before he even made his break in the preseason game. Beautiful thing. Yeah. But of the 3, getting back to what you're talking about, of the 3 that were there, Amari Cooper is the guy that I would add. Vet leadership, still runs great routes, did some really good things. That's the guy I would look at.
You nailed it. I love the routes that Amari Cooper runs. Amari Cooper to me is like a Monty Toomer. You know what I mean? Like they're similar body style, run great routes. And again, I want Wan'Dale to have a breakout year. Hoping he has a breakout year with the ability to go vertical now. Not everything has to be junk ball for the poor guy. And by the way, that's probably the reason why Sterling Shepard was always hurt too, because you're just running junk routes a lot, and getting hurt, trying to change direction, getting whacked. I'd like to see some of those guys vertical a little bit, but I just don't. If anything happened to Slayton or Robinson, Sean, are you comfortable with your starting wide receivers being Jalen Hyatt and Amir Smith-Marset?
Well, I think you have some other guys that could plop. I know they're rookies, but I think you have some other guys down there. Zach Pascal could do some things. Now, I'm not going to, if somebody gets hurt, then yes, go look at a guy. But I don't think right now we need to add somebody at this moment because those other guys, nobody's signing them at this point. And do not have Nelson Aguilar anywhere near my team whatsoever.
Right.
Now, Gabe Davis would make sense because he knows the system. But again, nobody else is signing these guys. So, I don't think right now you need to add anybody. The continuity with these guys are good. There's a lot of talent. Even some of those UDFAs are looking good. Montreal Washington's doing some things. So again, if somebody gets injured during the season, then yes, go look to add somebody. But I don't think now you need to add somebody.
Well, all right, guys, let me ask you this. I mean, if Amari Cooper came on the team right now, would he be the second best wide receiver on the Giants?
Yes.
I mean, then should they possibly consider it, not even from a depth standpoint, but more of like, how is it going to make Malik better? It's going to make Malik better because right now he is the star superpower of the Giants offense. And the main focus is going to be to shut him down. When you have 2 very capable wide receivers, obviously Malik will still be better, given Amari's, length in the league, then maybe it's going to enable Malik to be better. And if they're focusing too much on Malik, then Amari's there to kind of get whatever doesn't come his way. I mean, they could consider it.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot here. So if you need to pull up their roster, pull up their roster. Sean, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
For these wide receivers, I'm assuming you're going to carry 8. Does that
Probably.
sound good, right?
Yeah, I would say 7 or 8.
Give me your 8.
Oh man, I don't want to pull up the roster, but okay, we got Neighbors, Wandale, Slayton, Hyatt, Gunner, Smith, Marset.
Hang on. You're giving Gunner the wide receiver spot only because he has to be considered a wide receiver.
Yes, because he's special teams.
Because he's not going to get any reps at wide receiver.
No, he got open a lot. I don't trust his hands, but he got open a lot this weekend against the Bills.
Yeah,
and
I
then
know.
Smith Marset, he counts as one of those spots. Yep. And then I would say Zach Pascal, maybe. So it's going to come down, that last 2 spots is going to come down to Zach Pascal, Bo Collins, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Montrell Washington, Bo Collins.
So you got Malik, Wandale, Slayton. Who was number 4? Who did you say was 4? Oh, Hyatt. Hyatt was 4. Gunner, Smith, Marset, and Pascal. You're saying Pascal makes the team regardless?
Well, let me.
He's right now. He's 3rd string behind Hyatt.
I said between Pascal, Lindor.
Yeah, but I need your 8. I need your 8, not your 12. I need your 8.
Okay, so I think Lil Jordan Humphrey's gonna be on there. And I think I think Montrell's got the lead over Bo Collins, but I predicted Bo Collins would make it. But looking at what Dable said, I think Montrell Washington, and based on the play this weekend, I think Montrell Washington's going to get that final spot at wide receiver.
That would be 9 if you're keeping Pascal.
No, I took Pascal off of it.
All right. I'm throwing it to you, Spartan. Who are your 8?
My 8, it's going to be Neighbors, Wandale, Slayton, Hyatt, Humphrey, Smith Marset, Montrell Washington. And I mean, those are really the 7 that I'm kind of going with. The rest, complete crap. The next spot, then Amari Cooper.
I like it. All right.
I don't care. I mean, I saw the list. I'm like,
okay. I'm cool with that. And Drew, I don't think Cambry's going to make the special teams because I think that a couple other guys.
He didn't do that good. He didn't do that good in the game. I don't think he hasn't stood out.
Yeah. And I think that
I think Collins has stood out more than Cambry has. Now I don't know what he's doing on special, but I think they're going to carry a lot of guys. Cambry will make the practice squad. They're going to carry a lot of wide receivers on the practice squad. That's my belief.
All right, shifting over to the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is that ESPN bought Red Zone. And I got to ask you guys what you think because ESPN stinks now. I don't know anybody that enjoys ESPN, but everybody loves Red Zone. Like, are you guys afraid that Red Zone now is just going to be just be garbage? Because I don't understand the fact that ESPN's buying all these properties up, but what they put out isn't good now. So, Spartan, I'm sure you got a ton of young cats that live and die by ESPN. Do you guys notice how the quality ESPN has gone down the toilet?
Yeah, I don't really actually know that many people that care for ESPN as a primary source of sports news. I mean, especially for my generation, like they're probably going to lean towards something like like Barstool first. And as comedic as that sounds, the reality is they're getting at least enjoyment out of what they're watching when they're watching guys talk about it. I mean, you watch ESPN, you're just going to get pissed off with all the misery and negativity that you watch on that crap, right?
Or that people don't know what they're talking about. They just bring in anybody.
But we talk about it, right? Like, and Sean, I mean, it's tough to know everything that's going on with the Giants. You realize these guys don't know what's going on with every single football team and every single hockey team and every single Olympic athlete. Like, that's hard to do. They have people watching the game. Just so everybody knows, they are probably not watching that many games when some of these main guys make an opinion, right? When I watch the NFL Network, though, by the way, Rich Eisen and some of these former players, I mean, I love the NFL Network and how they do things because I think they're relatively positive. They have to be. They can't they can't really crap on their own league, own players, or anything like that. But it's way more enjoyable content, way more enjoyable guys that you're listening to that you can listen to, right? When it comes to the red zone, I forget the name of the guy that runs it, but we all know him, right? With the glasses and whatnot.
Yes.
He's a great guy. Great product. I can imagine ESPN screwing that up.
Yeah, if they get rid of him, I mean, he's the best part of Red Zone. Not that I'm going to watch much Red Zone this year, but yeah, ESPN would be dumb to get. It was Scott Anderson, is that his name? Or
Yes, Hansen. Isn't Scott Hansen the guy?
Scott Hansen. No,
that's not Scott Hansen. It can't be, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Chris Hansen. Never mind.
There you go. Yeah. Don't ever doubt me again, Spartan.
Take a seat. Why don't you take a seat?
No, yeah, I mean, they're stupid if they get rid of him. That's thing. And no, I haven't watched ESPN in forever. I don't even watch their draft coverage anymore. The night of the draft, it's on NFL Network. So yeah, it's bad. But again, it's because they have
like how awful that would be.
They have Disney's money, so that's why they're able to do this.
Yeah, it's just terrible. I can't. Nope. I just can't figure it out. Like, I mean, they've already ruined ESPN. Now they're going to ruin the NFL Network. I can't take all these talking heads that are on there that don't know anything about the damn game anyway. I mean, How many national guys have you just said the Giants are going to suck? The Giants are going to. They don't do any research. They don't watch the games. They don't know about the draft picks. They don't know about the free agents. No. They don't know about anything, but they just all listen to each other talk.
All they know is that we got rid of Saquon and signed Jones, right? So it's just like therefore Giants.
Yeah, that was it. It's awful.
So people, we've got season coming up. There could be a big announcement coming up. We got 2 or 3 things in the pipeline to let you guys know that we're working on that are pretty big and pretty cool. I wish I can give you more, but we are definitely working on. What's that?
Epic.
Yeah, it is big stuff. We're waiting. We're trying to make it happen, but it's a lot of moving parts. So I just want to let you know that we got some stuff in the works to make some stuff happen on Mondays, some stuff on Thursdays. We got some other tech stuff working on, and we're trying to get it all done and have a day job. So we're all working on that, especially like my banker friend over here. He's got all sorts of stuff lined up that he has to do in the next 90 days. So
yeah, I will. We talked about that one. I will, but I'll do everything I can, even if I'm not on the show very often. But yeah, got a brutal 3 months ahead of me.
Yeah, we'll get you in here, man. We'll find some time to even if we do this, we get you in for 15 minutes to pop in and tell us how the Giants are looking great.
Working.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Evan Neal at all. Because Bo played so well, but I guess they really do need, as a first-round pick, they're going to need Kevin K-Mac wants to know, hey, last one, Evan Neal's not playing, big deal. I mean, right now, I mean, if I look at the depth chart, right guard is Van Roten's job to lose, and then it's Evan Neal, and then Kubis is behind him. I mean, Kubis had a really good end of the year last year, so I mean, Evan Neal can go nowhere but up. So. I'm not really sure what to make of it.
I don't think it's a bad lead in play. Now, tomorrow and Wednesday, that's what's a bigger deal. If he's not playing tomorrow and Wednesday, because this is where he's going to benefit going against, that Jets D line and joint practices, because you're going to get more game-like situation there than you are in a preseason game like that. So let's pay attention to see what he's doing tomorrow and Wednesday, if he's in or not. And that may be why they set him out, so he's ready for the Jets.
Any expectations, Sean, for what's coming up? What do you want to see more of?
I just want to see guys like healthy be able to play. I want to see some Scatterball out there to see what he can do. I want to see Flop back and really push, Deonte Banks and that, because it's still up for grabs with CB2. That's really want to see. I want to see what they do in the next 2 days. I want to see if they come out with fight, if they come out with some nastiness. I want to see him have that. I want to see him have that psychoness, right? Like, I want to see him just manhandle the Jets. That's what I want to see. Win or lose in these reps, I want to see him just beat up the Jets.
You and I were talking about this just last week about, I don't love camp like everybody else loves camp, but I do love to watch a good fight, and I like to see who wins. And then I like to see who's on the injury report, who's healthy. I always like to make sure, to see some guy coming back or making sure nobody got hurt. But I do like when they get heated and they stick up for each other, or they, a couple guys get tossed around. So I do like that about camp. The Giants and the Jets fight every year. There's always a scrap for who's big brother, who's little brother, and so we definitely, there's going to be some heat when those two get together. How about you, Spartan? Anything you want to see in the upcoming preseason game and practices?
Just one thing that I don't want to say I was like disappointed or I was upset by, or it's like, but if we're talking about things that we did like to see, then I'll highlight something that I would like to see that I didn't. I want the first team offense to go out there with Russ in it and get a touchdown. Last week, that opening drive things looked more consistent there with the O-line and how we were executing, but still gave me a little bit of a flashback to last year of midfield meltdowns, a couple penalties, some sloppiness there, and then just a little bit. And I get that the star wide receivers were like our top wide receivers were out, but still a little bit of a bland playbook. I would like to just see the offense go out there and score a touchdown.
Mark, I did not see any updates on Drew Phillips. It did not seem like it was anything serious, but I haven't heard anything for the entire day. Tomorrow, I think, is when the injury reports come out, so you'll definitely hear something tomorrow. But you guys hear anything else on Phillips?
No,
I didn't hear anything. No.
Yeah, I think tomorrow you'll get something, Mark, on that. And again, I love that cat. I think he's a great, handles himself, on the microphone, just says all the right things. And when he was talking last week, if you guys weren't here, we talked about Drew Phillips for a good 5 minutes, 10 minutes about how he was winging it a lot last year, and now he knows where to be and why to be there. So it was a pretty cool interview with him. And I'm with you, Spartan. Yeah, I like to see Russ come down, go right down the field, throw 3 passes, score, throw me a touchdown pass to Theo Johnson or Bellinger, or see Scatterboo out of the backfield, and then he goes
an explosive play. I mean, that would be very important. I expect to see more of it this year, but let's again try to be that top 20 offense. Try to be in there.
And by the way, we've talked about the tight end room. Theo is slotted as the number 1, Bellinger 2, Manhurts is 3, and Dulcich is 4 with Fedoni as the 5th. So, Gullich and Fedoni are going to be fighting to make this team.
Fedoni gave a good reason to keep him on the team.
I was going to say Fedoni's probably in that spot.
He had a couple good catches. That 2-point conversion was pretty damn good as well. And there's another catch, and Dulcich ducked on a pass that they said was a bad pass by, I don't remember, his Dart or whatever, but it wasn't. He actually, I guess the sun got in his eyes and kind of ducked. The pass was better than it was. The people who had the end zone view said it was right on time where it needed to be. So Dulcich's got to catch that. But I will say Theo Johnson looked pretty good catching the ball this weekend. So that's encouraging to see as well.
Yeah.
And let's talk about our guy. Micah McFadden got shot out of a cannon and just absolutely obliterated somebody in a play. Like, how good was that to see in a preseason game? Like, holy cow.
I've never seen him really. I mean, he's a good linebacker, very underrated. Pretty consistent. Did I expect him to make an All-Pro at any point in his career? Probably not, but that was an All-Pro move.
Oh, it was beautiful to see.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to see. Like when a guy gets 7 to 8 snaps, that you make sure you leave a lasting mark on the 7-8 snaps that you get, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, blew that right up. Looked really good. All those, like I said, Dexter didn't play, but all those guys. There's it's going to just be fun. Defense is going to be fun to watch again, no doubt.
Yes, for sure. Offense is going to be fun to watch too. There's a couple. I mean, listen, we talked about Dart. We'll talk about Russ in a little bit, but Dart had another play I'll talk about in a second. But Wilson, man, just got rid of the ball and made some plays where in the past our other quarterbacks, not saying one quarterback, but our other quarterbacks would have taken sacks. Dart on that screenplay to Turbo Miller literally threw like a rainbow to him to get it over the defender, catch it, and still make a play.
Well,
Those are things
that like a quarter of a second. I saw that too. Like defender coming, that would have been a pick six of previous quarterbacks, and he threw like a rainbow over.
Yeah. So we're just, yes, it's preseason, but you're seeing him do things and decision making that we haven't seen before, and that's what I like to see. Again, Russell escaping, moving up, doing a little shovel pass to somebody that could have been a sack. Dart did it a couple of times, right? So our quarterback play is going to make our O-line better. Our line's going to be better as it is. But yeah, that screen pass was impressive. Like a lot of people were talking about that. A lot of like NFL type people were talking about that as well. It's impressive.
Yeah, they highlighted on the 23 yards rushing he had on 2 plays. One was a perfect step up in the pocket and run through the middle of the field. And the other one, he actually stepped back and okie dokie the guy. You know what I mean? And you know, it was definitely a unique play because most of the time you're stepping up into the pocket and getting hit. He actually stepped back and made the guy miss. So the fact that we ran a successful screenplay blew my mind. No doubt, Peace. And you know what? And I've been saying this since the day they drafted him. Our screen game's gonna pop with Scatterboo because his hands are just that good. He may turn out to be like not get as many carries as everybody likes, but he could easily have 600-700 yards receiving, you know, out of the backfield because he's that good. So I think those and you're right, Chris. We haven't had a screen game since Tiki Barber, maybe a little bit of Ahmad Bradshaw, but Scatterboo and actually probably a Turbo Miller both could probably do it real well. So. All right, we're wrapping this puppy up. You know, guys, camp, I think you got one last day. The 13th is the last day you can go. Open to the public. We'll be back here on Monday chatting up on what we saw this week. John C. popping in at the last moment with a comment. Dart elusives in the pocket was a sign of relief. Jones would have been you know what, John? I have no idea because Jones was an anomaly to me. He'd make some plays look just absolutely fantastic, but as he went on, he was so shell-shocked, seeing ghosts falling down. You know, we don't even want to talk about Jones. You know what I mean? Like we want to just move forward. That Dart is a gunslinger, and he is elusive. He is tough, and it's exciting. And
if I could add, Craig, like that touchdown that he had was literally everything that we haven't seen in a while. Being able to make he was under pressure, being able to make a play under pressure. We were always complaining, well, you know, our receivers don't get separation. Well, Mahomes' receivers don't really get separation. The difference is he throws it and he throws it right where it needs to be in tight coverage. We saw that with Jaxson Dart, right? And we saw that ability to think quickly and that the gutsiness to make an explosive play and the explosive plays we haven't seen in a long time. So like everything that we've been praying for was all in one play there, and that's what makes us so inspired. I wish Steve Tasker himself was a little inspired, but you know, get a special teamer to
Tasker, man.
He's still bitter that we beat him in 90. That's what it is. He's not happy. He's bitter.
All the above, man. He's elusive. Listen, I've said it from the beginning. If you haven't watched the movie Tin Cup, you're fooling yourself. It's a great movie. Why am I bringing up a golf movie with Kevin Costner? Because Jaxson Dart is that character. He's going to throw these balls that make you crazy because he wants to make that play. He has a tendency to throw the same route 3 times until he gets it, right? So he might throw if you watched him in that game at the end of the year, not the bowl game, the one before, was it the Florida game? He threw like 3 interceptions. The same damn place, the same guy. Like he just has a tendency to like, I'm going to get this, that gunslinger mentality. And then again, his footwork needs to be cleaned up because Kiffin didn't help him over 3 years with that. But you're going to get a guy with moxie. You're going to get a guy who definitely reads progressions. He's a smart kid. Mark, good teammate, loves all his teammates, doing everything the right way. He's fun. He's having fun with Carter. He's having fun with Scatterboo. Like he's bringing some personality and some swag. And listen, let's not discount Russell Wilson. This team also loves what Russ is bringing to the table, right? Yeah. Russ is, the best compliment I heard last week was that Bellinger was like, I've never seen a guy come in and run a room or run a meeting like Russell Wilson. He just comes in and he's that confident. And I think that's where we are in a really good spot because Jaxson Dart is going to suck up all the great things that make Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely the perfect guy to learn from. And don't get me wrong, Jameis too. Jameis is a great locker room guy, and I think we're in a really good place. Look at all these guys rolling in.
Right.
Winston too. Yeah, no doubt. Winston's a fun guy. I didn't think he had a great day on Saturday, but it's preseason. He did a couple things that I was in the group chat with the Rush team, and I was like, yeah, that's vintage. That's vintage. That's vintage.
That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna get, man.
I'm gonna put out a quick PSA, Craig, just real quick, because I think it's important moving forward.
Go for it.
Good or bad, do not rely on PFF grades to determine if somebody in the Giants is playing well or not. And I say this because if you follow me on Twitter, the Joker Sean 37 on Twitter, I put out a clip, PFF grade from Deion Walker of the Buffalo Bills that got a 92.8 or what it was. They showed every snap that they have. If you watch that clip, tell me how he got a 92 grade on those. Please tell me. So for all of us, please do not rely on PFF to determine if somebody's doing well or not. Watch the game, see with your eyes, trust your eyes. If you don't trust your own eyes, ask one of us. We'll help you get the eyes going, but no more PFF to say they're good or bad, good or bad. Because if you look at, because people said JMS played bad, he had a really good PFF grade. Again, I thought he played well, but this is not what determines if somebody's good or not. Just let's let it go.
Well, again, yeah, I'll be the first one to tell the same damn story I've been telling for 5 years, that they count half sacks as full sacks. It doesn't even make any sense. Why I would consider a half sack that two guys brought down the quarterback, that they couldn't do it by themselves.
Holding down is being held down for them, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So, like, I've killed them for years. Sometimes, like, you know, they're just so off base on, especially, you know what? Sean's right. Especially on the linemen. I just don't think the people that are evaluating are qualified to judge linemen. I just don't. I never have. So I think his point, PSA, well taken. Pound it out for Sean for bringing that up and not forgetting it, because it's important that you guys all hang out with us. I'm pretty sure you guys like our knowledge of the game. Plus, we respect your knowledge of the game. You know, PFF is not helping out your mental state. So don't rely on that too much. We're out of here because we went too long. But we'll be back next week. We probably won't see Spartan for a couple weeks. My man's got some studying to do, but we'll get him back in here. And then we'll try to get Alex and Truth and these guys in here. So thanks for hanging out with us. Zach, if you're there, wrap us up, dude.
Got so many guys on this roster who were homegrown here, and they're here because
and a touchdown from Jaxson Dart to little Jordan Humphrey.
Because they exceeded their expectations.